Hello, this is Noreen from joyacards.com and welcome to my video. Hey, we are going to make this tag. Now, I know it came from my paper pumpkin kit, of which I do sell all my used paper pumpkin kits. So go to joyacards.com/shop and see if there are any that you would like to purchase. But I do sell this kit, and it's the used kit, and I'll have all the stamps, I'll have all the extras and stuff in it. It'll come in the original box, so it's all cool. But we're going to make this really cool tag. It was one of my alternatives. If you want to see the entire alternative video, I'll put a link in my bio there. So anyway, let's get started and make this tag. First thing we're going to do is take tailor-made tags. We're going to take the largest die, and we're going to cut out 2 of these. Since we are going to be using blending pens, it has the tendency to bleed through. And luckily, this tag is, you can do that. You can put them together and they fit perfectly like that. So go ahead and cut 2 of those tags out and come back. The next thing you're going to do is grab one of the tags, and you're going to stamp in Memento the house and the trees in Mossy Meadow. And like I said, this is from the Home for the Holidays paper pumpkin kit, which I'm selling. So if you want to do this tag, go on joyacards.com/shop and pick that up. So I've already gone ahead and done that here. The next step is you're going to take a piece of scratch paper, like copy paper. Do not use Stampin' Up! Paper, because what we're going to do is we're going to make some masks. And you want something thin and cheap. And if you use Stampin' Up! Paper, it's going to leave a shadow around your image. So I want you to stamp, of course, Memento the house and the trees in Mossy Meadow. And I want you to cut them out. So you're going to take your scissors and fussy cut them out. And you're going to get this. So 2 of each size of the tree and the house. Now, with the trees, try to do some nice little detail work here. You know, if it goes in, then go in like this. You can kind of cut around it and then just make some detail to it. But cut out your mass. Now we're going to do some Versamark. We don't have to worry about the mass quite yet, but we're going to Versamark the little snowflakes from this paper pumpkin kit. And like I said, you could do this with really any small stamp set, but this worked out really well. So I'm going to take my Versamark. Oh, and first, because I keep everything in my tray, they've got this new toolkit for your tray. And I keep my little embossing buddy in there so I don't forget, because I always forget, except in this video, I got lucky. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my Versamark. And if you haven't used your Versamark in a while, re-ink it. So I'm going to pay attention to where I'm stamping those snowflakes, because, you know, they're invisible at this point. And I'm just going to go ahead and put them all around and paying attention. Now, if you have this paper pumpkin kit, you also notice there's like a snowflake stamp too. What I found when I used both, because here's my beta one, it got really muddy. Also, in my beta one, I used the white embossing powder. We're not going to do that. We're going to use the clear embossing powder, so it comes out nice. So see the difference? That's a huge difference. So now I'm going to go ahead and put on the clear embossing powder, and we're going to put it over the stamp like that. Over the tag, sorry, and kind of look at it and see what you did here. And if you want to put in like another snowflake, this would probably be a good time to do it. Now, if you notice, I'm stamping on my glass here, and these are these clear stamps. And it's because my glass takes the stamp really nice, so I don't have to necessarily use a stamping pad unless it's a really tricky stamp, then I'll pull it out. But put on your clear embossing powder and flick it off like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and emboss it. I have one of these Totally Tiffany embossing station here, so I've had it off to the side. I'm going to let the gun heat up for a moment, because you want to let it heat up. It's self-explanatory. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat emboss. Now you're going to take a piece of scratch paper here. You're going to get those masks that you cut out, and you're going to use this teal colored removable adhesive. Use this one. This is like the worst tape in the world, except when you're masking, it's awesome. So I'm going to tape that to the images, and I'm really going to make sure I'm covering everything. So go ahead and put them all on. Now we're going to do some blending. We're going to use Balmy Blue, Orchid Oasis, and Night of Navy, and we're going to start with the Balmy Blue. Now grab your Balmy Blue, tap off on your scratch paper, and you're going to put this over the entire tag. Now take your Orchid Oasis, tap it off, and we really only want this on the top and in the middle. Don't put it on the bottom because we just want that Balmy Blue on the bottom. And you can put it on there pretty good. I'm just avoiding the bottom. And really the Orchid Oasis is for the transition between the Balmy Blue and the night sky. So I think that's enough. Now for the Night of Navy, this is a very dark color, so don't go like this and right on, it'll splotch it really bad. So tap it off and circle in. You never want to go full on. And what I like to do on night scenes is make the edges darker. So I'm going to go top and the edge here really dark. Okay, and I know it's covering up the Versamark, but that's okay. We're going to wipe it off, so it'll look just fine. And I'll do some more here. I think that's kind of good. Now I might go back with my Orchid Oasis and do the middle part. Now I'm going to go back to the Orchid Oasis here. I just want to get that transition so I get that nice color difference going in between. So I'm just going to give it a little something, just like that. Now let's pull off the mask and see what we've got. This is the best part. So I'm going to pull off the house. Look at that. And I'm pulling off a tree and a tree and a tree and a tree. Looks really cool, huh? Look at that. Now we need to get the ink off the Versamark. Now I did something because I forgot, but it's good that I did because I want to show you. What I did is I had to remake this tag. You know what I did? When I was wiping this off, I went all over here and went over the roof. And if you notice, there is a blue hue on that roof. That's a no. So when you're doing this, in fact, go ahead and put the mask back on. I happen to have an extra one here because I don't want anything on that roof. That roof needs to be white. Now, I'm not worried about the trees because those are going to be in green, but still don't run over them. So I'm going to very gently wipe off the ink on the Versamark. And I'm not going to try to hit those trees. And I've got the mask over the house. So you can see how nice that is. And I'll show you the comparison here between the two. So this is the one I nabbed with the ink. And this is the one that I didn't. So it's very important that you keep that roof white. Now I want you to take your Daffodil Delight and I want you to do the windows first. Always when you're doing any kind of blending, do the lightest color first because I'm working with some pretty dark colors and they will bleed into the other colors. So I'm going to do the windows here. Now I might do some tags and put them up on my joyacards.com /shop site and put like 10 tags for sale. So I might do that. So go ahead and give that a look-see if I actually got around to doing it. But if you want to do this, just go ahead and buy the used paper pumpkin kit and you can completely duplicate it. So I did the door and the light above it and the two windows in Daffodil. Now I'm going to grab my light old olive and I'm going to do the reefs on the house, the edge of the greenery around the roof, and the tree. So I'll do that. I'll be right back. Now take your dark old olive and do that roof again. I know I did it in light, but I'm going to do it in dark again just to give it a little contrast. So I'm going to do that real quick. Now I'm going to take my dark red and I'm going to do the chimneys. I'm going to do the shutters. Now when you're doing the shutters, just like dab it on because you're really close to the reef here. And the bow on the reef. So do like just touch it. Don't like color it because it's so small and you'll do just great. Now when I did the door the last time, I actually used the light real red on the frame, and then the dark real red for like the accent. So I know I kind of already did the top of it, but that's okay. No one is going to notice. So just like that. Now let's fill in the house. I'm going to use light copper clay, and I'm going to do the entire bottom part of the house. Do not do the roof. So I'm going to do light, and I'll be right back. Now that's with the light copper clay. Now I'm just going to do the dark copper clay like right under the window here and on the bottom of the house a bit, maybe a little bit on the side. Just be really careful. And the other side, just really be careful, maybe around the edge here a little bit. And that's the coloring on the house. Now let's finish this up. Now you've got this all colored. Look at the back. I mean, it looks terrible. That's why you have this second piece. So you're going to take this piece and you're going to put the to and from, which I'm using from Joy of Noel. I'm using real red, and you want it over here because this is what the back of this looks like. So I'm going to stamp it just like so. Now take your piece, turn it over here. I'm just using snail. You can even use tear tape if you're worried about it coming apart. And you're just going to match this up, and they match up perfectly. And you're going to get this. Now I'm going to take the ribbon from the gold and silver trim combo pack. There's a gold and a silver, and I cut off 10 inches of the gold, and I'm just going to fold it and stick both pieces through the hole. Now take both ends and pull it through the loop here and pull it, and there you go. Now one last little step. Last step, and we're doing this last for a reason because this stuff takes a little bit to dry, and if you're messing with the tag still, this is going to smear, get into that ink, put that blue shadow across. It'd be terrible. Now this is included in my paper pumpkin kit, so that's, you know, if you end up getting the only one I have, that's good for you. So I'm going to put this just around the edge of the roof here. And that's it. So if you want to see the Paper Pumpkin alternative video, go to joyofcards.com and look at that, or go to joyofcards.com/shop to buy this one. I only have one of these kits. Anything you see in my video, like my glass and all that, there are links there. So anyway, that'll do it for me. Thanks. Bye.